Yo, what's up? This your boy Derek Brent here, Strike7Sports.com. This is another episode of Strike 7 Sports Podcast. I'm joined by my co-host Brian Vada, Leo the Seabear. This is another episode of Strike 7 Sports Podcast. So we go right into it. We're gonna talk about yesterday's game between the San Francisco 49ers and the Los Angeles Rams. 49ers once again get the best of the Rams. They won by a score of 24-9, improved their record to 2-2, and I believe the Rams fell to 2-2 as well. So right now it's a big log jam at the top of the NFC West right now. But more in particular, we want to talk about Jimmy Garoppolo and his winning ways as he continues as the 49ers starting QB. He took over for Trey Lance, who was supposed to be to project the starter for this season. Um, Garoppolo's record is 7-0 against the Rams. Now, overall, if you want to include the playoffs into it, it's really 7-1. But he has beaten that team 7 times, during his time with the 49ers. And he's the only guy that can operate this system. I haven't seen this team be successful with no other quarterback in this system. So I just want to ask y'all, what does Trey Lance bring that the 49ers are looking for that Jimmy Garoppolo can't?
Well, I'll take this one first. He brings two things that it'll be interesting how effective he'll be when he comes back from his injury in this aspect. The run game, Jimmy Garoppolo just really doesn't add that element, and then he just has a higher ceiling than Jimmy Garoppolo, and I think those two things are very very important when the 49ers look uh, at their chance to win a Super Bowl because they got the defense. The defense is set. Arguably, someone made a point. I can't remember who it was I saw today, but the 49ers have the best defense in the NFL. Mina Kimes, that's who it was. And she had the numbers to back it up. So it'll be interesting to see how this season unfolds and what Jimmy Garoppolo's future is with the 49ers. But I think we saw, even at his best in terms of or when they went to the Super Bowl, we saw his limitations, and it ultimately cost them. So he's a good quarterback, but Trey Lance gives him the higher upside. That being said, we've seen only flashes of it. We haven't seen it for a whole season, so that's important to note too.
I think Trey Lance brings two things. The two things that I think he brings are youth and, like Brian said, potential. And I feel that they feel that Jimmy he's a solid quarterback and everything, but I guess the 49ers feel that he's not the guy that's gonna put them over the top, even though they've been to the mountaintop with this guy. Personally, I don't see really how Trey is much better. Like I feel like Jimmy does the job, and like it's kind of like when you have I don't know I don't even know how to make this comparison, but it's just I don't understand why the 49ers are so hell bent on getting rid of Jimmy when all he's done is win. And he's only, like you said, he's the only quarterback that I've seen fluently and consistently operate this Shao Hanahan system. And so, only thing I can see really is just the youth and, like I said, the potential and the big on and the big playability. That's another thing too, the big playability in terms of stretching defenses with his legs and also with his arm, because he does have a great arm. But aside from that, I still think Jimmy would be the guy that I keep personally. But obviously, the 49ers have a different vision and plan.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say we lost DB while you were talking, but yeah,
Dang.
I agree. My only question I'll say is like, so if you were the 49ers, you would still ride with Jimmy G and not give for how long?
I would trade him. Like
Wow.
personally, because like
What do you think you
he
would? Sorry for interrupting, but what do you think you would get if you traded Trey Lance? That's the thing.
you would get a first round pick from somebody.
I disagree. I don't think you would.
He's at least a top, no later than second or third round.
Yeah, I think you could get a second for more than more probably a third. To be honest with you, maybe or it could be like a conditional one if a team like want to play him right away.
Yeah.
But it'll be interesting. The one thing I'll say is Trey Lance, and some people aren't going to give him like he won't. I think he can reach the ceiling they want, but it'll take some time.
I'm back, man. I had some my internet went out again.
Telling you, y'all's Wi-Fi. I don't know what it is. Something
on, man.
about it. I'm kidding. It's all right.
Whatever,
It's all
man.
right.
I paid
Yeah.
the bill. Well, it's due, but I paid it. Hey, but anyway, man. So the whole conversation would change if that pass he threw to Emmanuel Sanders in the Super Bowl would have been a little on point. We wouldn't be talking about. I don't think we were talking about Trey Lance, man.
Maybe,
But do you bring this dude back though? If they go to the playoffs, they win NFC West, get home field advantage again. Do you bring this dude back?
I think you consider it. In a weird ass way, it kind of, excuse me for my language, but it kind of reminds me of Nick Foles and Carson Wentz, that whole debate a little bit. One guy.
It's different, man.
Well, yeah. Well, actually, the only difference is Carson Wentz was the guy. Trey Lance wasn't. But
Nick Foles suspect, man.
Yeah. No, but Nick Foles won them a Super Bowl. If Jimmy G wins them a Super Bowl, or even makes it, I think you have to bring him back if he's fine with being that backup.
Man,
I don't know. That's Jimmy
he's
G.
a free agent, right?
Yeah, I think this is the last year he's with the 49ers. I don't know. Ultimately, I don't know if that'll be a mistake, but like we saw only a few instances of Trey Lance, some highs and lows, and it was going to be a rough year like for the 49ers. Like they're in a tough position. They have the defense built to win a Super Bowl, but the quarterback, there's questions there. But if Trey Lance reaches the ceiling, they can win it. The question is, how long will that take? Or if Jimmy G just is able to play above his weight and not turn the ball over when it matters, I think he could lead them to the Super Bowl. Until I see it, I'll believe it. And one other point, Bucky Brooks, he made this point. I'll never forget it. There's two type of quarterbacks in the NFL. They're trucks and trailers. Jimmy Garoppolo is a trailer. Hey, you know, right? That's part of the Patrick Mahomes. I know it's different conversation, different quarterback. And some of these other quarterbacks, they're trucks. They can carry a team. But hold on. I'm sorry. I'm probably getting it confused. I'm trying to see which one's a truck and which one's a trailer. I guess, yeah.
The truck's
Jimmy's the truck. Patrick's the trailer because he can carry them. Yeah, I'm sorry. But if you heard that analogy, you know what I mean.
But I still feel that Patrick is. I mean, Jimmy is that guy. I feel like Jimmy. I just feel like Jimmy. I feel like San Francisco is just. They don't understand what they have in Jimmy. Like Jimmy's a good NFL quarterback. Like Jimmy is a quarterback that I wouldn't mind if he was the quarterback of the Raiders right now. I wouldn't even be mad. Like I wouldn't
take him over Carr.
I wouldn't take him over Carr, but I just say hypothetically, if he was there, if Jimmy Garoppolo, if I woke up tomorrow and saw Jimmy and Derek Carr went down and we made a trade, and hypothetically Jimmy Garoppolo ended up being on the team, I would be comfortable with where we be at because I know for the most part he's not going to be the reason why we lose the game. He might not be the reason why we win it, but you need a quarterback that's going to keep you in it. And he made plays when he needed to against that Rams defense, who was not bad. That's not a bad Rams defense. They put up 24 points against at all. I'm just saying, but like Jim, for me personally, I just feel that they're trying. Like it's kind of like when they're trying to get this. He's been a pro through this too. That's another thing I like about Jim. He's been a pro through this. Like he's kept his composure. A lot of guys would have soaked and pouted and would have ended up getting up out of there, but he waited his turn and he's making the best of it so far. They're 2-1 with him, so they keep, like you said, they kept on winning. That's the thing of what we're talking about. They keep on winning.
So what do you think happens? You think they bring him back, or he becomes a free agent? Finally let him go.
Well,
there'll be some teams that look for him. That's gonna want
Carolina Panthers. I was reading an article today, y'all, about teams that may replace some quarterbacks. Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold are each free agents, and I think my theory is if he leaves San Francisco, he's going to Carolina, and they bring him in to push Matt Corral because I think Matt Corral will get a legit chance to start next year. and they actually like him a lot. So I think it's a legit chance of shot, and he and Jimmy compete for that starting position in Carolina. That's my prediction.
What I'll say, kind of, how Jimmy G. Well, it all depends what his market is. If it's something like where a team wants him to be the starter and pay him a long-term contract, I believe he's gone. But if it's not that much and it's where he can be the highest paid backup, he may want that. I don't. I believe he wants to be a starter, but if he was willing to be the highest paid backup now, and maybe it's just because for this particular season. So it all depends on what he wants. And another thing with Jimmy G, he has to. He's gonna have a tough decision to make because while he's good, he's only been good in one system. Well, actually, let me tell you, he was good with the Patriots a little bit, but uh, I think I would, if I leave, it has to be like someone in that Kyle Shanahan tree that runs it similar, something like that, where I could, like, I don't know if this would happen, it won't happen, but what about the Cowboys? I know they don't run that similar system, but if they rely on the run, I know Jimmy G isn't better than Dak, but I think he would be willing to take a team friendly discount that they may consider something like that.
Nah, they're paying Dak too much, man.
For now,
Nah, they're paying Dak
I
too
can see
much,
the
man.
Commanders.
yeah, that's another
Commanders, Saints, um, shoot, New England, nah,
Giants.
Giants,
Nah,
um,
Giants. No, I
yeah.
think Daniel Jones is could be that guy. I
Miami,
think they extend Daniel Jones after this year.
Miami,
If
No,
they
Miami,
move on
mm-mm.
from Tua, I could see that.
Miami.
Yeah, I could
No,
see it.
no,
He
Why
knows him.
not? Mike
no.
McDaniel, Kyle Shanahan, Jimmy G. It makes a lot of sense not to happen.
So we're just gonna like two had been balling before his injury.
Yeah, he
No,
was
I'm
balling.
saying if they decide to move on from Tua, we're assuming they're going to keep Tua. But if they don't and he's gone or they trade him, whatever, then I could see that happening. And one
Yeah,
other thing I was going to mention about the Panthers, I don't see Jimmy going there because I think more than likely Matt Rule is going to get fired. And if they're good enough to get take Bryce Young, one of these top quarterbacks, that's what I think they'll do. Maybe they give Matt Corral a chance, but I don't see that happening. And this is my bold prediction this week. If Baker Mayfield struggles, don't be surprised if he gets benched because Matt Rule, he's on the hot seat. And this to me, they're playing the 49ers. This is their season right here, in my opinion. I'm looking at some of their upcoming games. It's pretty loaded. And if they don't win this one, you'll be sitting at 1-4, and it's going to be hard to come back from that.
all
But
right, we'll see.
also, Sam Darnold's not some. So they be benching Sam Darnold for PJ Walker, and this is what they did last year because Darnold's still hurt.
Yeah, Sam Darnold's eligible to return. I was reading an article earlier today. He's eligible to return this week, but I would be stunned if he plays. Let's
Yeah,
put
he's
it that
not. So yeah, so PJ Walker, who PJ Walker has been, since he played with Matt Rule at Temple, I guess he's been able to keep a job off that. But
way.
even though he hasn't proven to be a serviceable backup, so I really think they just gonna thug it out with Baker at least until Darnold comes back.
Maybe.
We'll see. All right, in regards to the LA Rams, they're pretty much struggling right now as the defending Super Bowl champion. They everybody see the issues. They paid Allen Robinson 3-year deal, a lot of money, but he just can't get open. Just can't separate. Pretty much the offense right now is Cooper Cup, Tyler Higbee, and Matthew Stafford. They don't have a running game. People you ask the Memphis people, they say that they're not using Daryl Henderson the right way. We don't know. Cam Akers ain't doing what he was doing in his rookie season, and it's just been a struggle so far. And they only got like one good pass rush, and that's Aaron Donald. But we're gonna bring it back to the offense. So Odell Beckham was reported by Josina Anderson that Odell Beckham was with met with the New York Giants just yesterday. I think. Yeah, met with the Giants yesterday, and I guess it's in regards to return to the team. But as for the Rams goes, the goal. Do you think they'll bring him back?
That's a tough question. First, I think before they bring him back, I don't know if you saw on Twitter, a lot of people aren't liking the way they're using Allen Robinson. So I think before you bring OBJ back, who's coming off ACL, I think you got to figure out with Allen Robinson and the rest of your guys first. 2-2 isn't that bad considering they lost to the
They say he's
Bills.
a bust.
So what?
They say he's a bust.
I don't think he's a bust. They just got to figure out a way to involve him more, and I
Like
think,
Darren Henderson, right?
yeah, maybe. But I don't like some people are panicking about the Rams. I think they've had some injuries on the offensive line, and they played some. The teams they've lost to are playoff teams, in my opinion. So I think it's way too early to panic for the Rams. Some people even think, is it a Super Bowl hangover? Now, I think just you know how it is when you win it, you get everyone's best shot. So I think that's what it is right now. They'll figure it out. I'm not sure if they'll repeat as champs because that's really hard to do. But I believe they'll make the playoffs, and that's all you can ask for.
Man, the the Rams were my preseason pick to win the NFC, and it's been disappointing, man. Like they've been disappointed to start the team, and then Brian, let's go to the point that Allen Robinson, he's not a bust. Like I don't think he's a bust. Like DB, after what you said, I agree with Brian. They're just not using him right. Like he's not. He's. I make this point on Twitter. I've seen him look better with way worse quarterbacks. He looked better with Blake Bortles than this. He looked better with Mitch Trubisky than this. Like, what is going on? Like, they don't throw him the ball. He can't. And some of it's his fault. He can't like the one deep ball go route he got. He can't separate either. But it's also, but I can't blame him because it's cup this, cup that, cup this, cup that, cup this, he be this, cup, he be cup. See, like I will get frustrated too, and you can tell he's frustrated too. Like, cause when on the sideline, he didn't say anything, but you just can tell, like he's not comfortable.
He should have come
He's
to the
not.
Titans. They wanted him.
Yeah, he had a choice though.
Yeah. Wait, what other team was? Well, I mean, that's just what some Titans fans think, and I think. But what was there another team that he could have gone? Well,
I mean, would they have paid him with the Rams paid him because they
they
paid him
would have.
handsomely,
They would have.
handsomely.
I think they would have.
But when they made the Robert Woods trade, did they kind of make him obsolete?
Maybe. Yeah, they should have kept Robert Woods though.
No, I think Robert Woods wanted out though. I could be wrong, but I think that like he told them he wanted out, and then the Titans are one of his destinations. So it worked out.
I think I had him as my NFC representative for the Super Bowl, but I might be pulling back on that, man. Just these signs right here are telling, as I could tell real early when a team not gonna get to the Super Bowl or get back to the Super Bowl. They have time to get these things right, but the football, getting somebody to football outside of Cooper Cup and Tyler Higbee, and that offense is pretty much running back friendly, and I'm just kind of surprised that none of those backs haven't had the type of success that we've seen in the past, especially Darrell Henderson. Darrell Henderson been in that offense since 2018, I think, 2019, and still have not, taken off yet. Because he was Todd Gurley's backup.
But
Remember?
I'm sorry. Can I say something real quick?
Go ahead.
Yeah, define success. Is success like helping the Rams win or individual stats? Because if it's the latter, yeah, but if it's the latter, I'm not so sure because they rotate backs and they'll throw it a little bit. So I don't know if he's going to get the numbers. Let's say I'm trying to think of. Obviously, he won't get a Jonathan Taylor, for example, or a Derrick Henry, and I'm not comparing him to those backs, or even a Nick Chubb or a Kareem Hunt type of back. So I don't know. He's doing the best he can. Maybe it won't be the best long-term fit, but I think he can only worry about helping the team win. If he's obviously he wants to get a second contract, a good second contract, but I don't think the way the Rams system is in terms of running back by committee, I just don't think he's going to get a lot of big stats. That's just my opinion.
All right, go ahead, Leo.
To my Darrell Henderson.
Yeah.
I just feel like they not using him right. Like I think you made this point, DB. Like he's just not. He don't look the same no more. Like I don't lie, he started to get old right before our eyes. Like, and he's only 25. I feel like,
Wow, bro. He been in the league for a minute, bro.
yeah, he's 25 now. So,
5 years in the
man,
league.
yeah,
Shoot.
five. I think he's starting to get old. Like, you know how Todd Gurley slow. Like he didn't ever got old, but he did get old in a way. Like I just feel like Henderson's getting old, and like in Shelley's base system, I think I might disagree. Running backs aren't that important in terms of like having one set guy. Like even though they had Todd Gurley for them time, they didn't even have Todd. He wasn't on the Super Bowl team last year. Todd Gurley wasn't in the league last year, right?
I don't think. No, he was in the league last year.
Yeah, he wasn't in the league last year. Only 2 years ago with the Falcons. But the point is, I'm just saying they've always used a litany of running backs, and so it's kind of like I feel like they just don't use him right. Like I think they can use him as a in between the whole a sledgehammer back type guy, but that's not McVay's system. Like when he was at Memphis, they had him hit the outside. He could hit the hole in the inside, or he could bounce outside. He don't do none of that on the Rams. Like neither one of those things. And then Cam Akers, I watched Cam Akers and play in high school, and then obviously we all saw him at Florida State. Like you said, DB, from his rookie year, like he can't. I know he's coming off. I think it was an ACL tear.
Yeah, ACL tear in the
So
offseason.
yeah, he's still getting like warm. Like he's still getting back on his feet. Like which I understand, but McVay needs to find a way to use better way to use his backs because Matthew Stafford is just not. The guy that can carry a team anymore.
You don't think so?
Was he ever
Yeah,
that guy?
yeah, he was. No way. If you lead Detroit to 3 playoff appearances and seven, and what was this time 3 or 4 playoff appearances, he was that guy.
I guess. All right. I think he was just in the right situation with the Rams and I'm not. It's kind of tough. Like define. What do you mean by like carry the team? When it's like take me to the promised land. Is that what you mean?
Yes,
All
like
right,
they're not winning without him.
that's fair. All right, that's fair.
All right, moving right along. So a few days ago on Sunday, the Pittsburgh Steelers played against the New York Jets, and they lost. But what went down in that game was that the Steelers benched Mitchell Trubisky for Kenny Pickett. They almost won the game, but they lost last minute to the New York Jets. Pickett threw 3 interceptions now, but 3 interceptions. But the report coming out of Pittsburgh is that Pickett will be still a starting quarterback going forward. So, with that being said, how many games do you think Pickett will win at starter?
I'll take this one first. I think he's gonna be like Big Ben, won 14 in a row. Just like, nah, he ain't doing
Shit.
that. But I mean,
It's
we can
possible,
probably
but
it's
this schedule
possible.
tough.
Yeah, and then another key thing, they get Calvin Austin back this week, who he has consistency with, and with through camps and stuff. Like came in with him, so that'll be a guy that I mean, of course you've been playing with all the other guys, but you get Calvin back. That's a guy that you're gonna be throwing to, that you throwing to in rookie camp and whatnot. I think Pickett. I think he can win. Okay, they're 1-3. I think they can go 9. They can go 8-5, 9-4, maybe, because I think Pickett he can make a difference. Like I saw the moxie him with the quarterback runs, scoring touchdowns and whatnot. But I feel like he's gonna be more mistake prone than Trubisky was. Like Trubisky was because he threw those 3 interceptions, and I know one of them was like a Hail Mary type throw. But I mean, I just feel like he's gonna be more mistake prone than Trubisky was. But I feel like why did Mike Tomlin even make that move right now? Like why did he feel right now Pickett has to be that guy? I mean, he can go 8-5, like 9-4, but I don't understand why he made the move. Simply put, because
Because the boy was
Trubisky.
messing up, man.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Trying to save
Trubisky
their
was
season.
slipping,
What are
man.
you talking about?
Trubisky sucked, man.
Yeah,
Then why not go to Mason Rudolph?
because they've seen
Man,
what they
that's
have
that's
to do.
played, man. That's just
Yeah,
Mason Rudolph is a backup, man.
yeah. And
But
Kenny Pickett. The thing with Kenny Pickett is this: he's gonna make mistakes. Every rookie does, but at least he gives you a better chance to win. He'll give you a higher upside than Mitch Trubisky. These are just the facts. I like Mitch Trubisky, nice guy, and he did some good things with the Bears and did some good things with the Steelers. But
What good things deal with the Steelers?
I said some good things early, but he's just not that guy. He's a backup. They got him a good. It was a good contract he got. Give credit to his agent for getting that contract. But this is Kenny Pickett's team now, and the Steelers. Unfortunately, their schedule is brutal coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we'll see what Kenny Pickett can do. But it was the right decision. You can make a case Mike Tomlin should have made it earlier. It would have been nice for Kenny Pickett to start his first game against the Jets instead of the Bills. But it is what it is.
All right, man. I'm looking at the schedule for Steelers. They got Buffalo next on the road. You host Tampa. You go on the road to Miami. Then you go to Philly, cross town, state to play Philly. Then you host the Saints, and then after that is the Bengals. But this is gonna be tough, man. Tough sledding. Um, I'd say the Steelers was gonna take a step back this year, because of the rookie quarterback and things like that. And this might be the first year that Tom has that losing season. You know what I'm saying? This might be that first year, but he has the pieces around him to succeed, man. Got good wide receivers. Your running back is legit. Questions about the offensive line still around surround the team, but I think they win eight or nine games this year, man. 8 or 9 games, possibly a last place finish in the AFC North. But I wouldn't be surprised if they sneak into the playoffs because Mike Tomlin is that much of as an elite head coach and knows how to get the best out of his players. But as far as Trubisky go, man, I just think he's on a bridge status now, man. As a quarterback from here on out,
He's a
that's just
backup.
the way it is. Yeah, it's just if you don't pop in that first team, or you go to another team and you still suck, you embrace QB status. So that's what it is with Mitchell Trubisky. Um, I don't know, man. I don't think the Steelers gonna go to the playoffs this year, though. But I wouldn't be surprised if they do. What y'all think?
Can I go? I'm sorry. I just have so much to say. They're not making the playoffs. And I'll question I'll ask in a little bit, but I wouldn't be surprised if they're a candidate for the number one pick. And let me say this: it's not a knock against Mike Tomlin. It's just I think after this stretch, they may at best maybe 3 or 4 wins. Worst case scenario, they don't win a single game. But this stretch coming up is just brutal. I don't think they make it. And Mike Tomlin may have one losing season, but shouldn't be fired or anything. It's just unfortunate circumstances.
Did they bring up fire, huh?
No, I don't think they'll fire. But it'll be interesting to see if a team comes after him, if he wants out. But I don't know. But a lot of things, like the Commanders, I think there's a chance Ron Rivera gets fired. He's from the D.C. area. That's been mentioned before. I could see that.
I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it.
I don't know.
I wouldn't do it.
Here is the pushback I'll give you to that. The NFC is weaker than the AFC. We can agree on that, right?
But why coaching under that ownership, man?
All right, that's a good point. That's fair. I agree with you on that. But if they give you a long-term deal, which he doesn't have with the Steelers, his contract is for 2 more seasons. It's something to consider. That's all I can bring up. Now, the other question I was going to ask, if let's say the Steelers are bad enough where they have a chance at Bryce Young, I think he's a top prospect. And maybe, I don't know, maybe CJ Stroud. Take him and trade Pickett or keep Pickett. So you'd rather have Kenny Pickett over Bryce Young?
Dude, they're not going to be that bad, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. They're not going to be that bad.
This is the worst hypothetical situation they could have. Like, this is what you're thinking of. The worst,
they will not be that bad.
I think at worst they're 6-11, and that's not going to get you the number 1 pick.
Yeah. Actually, I know who's going to get the number 1 pick. Who? You want to know who?
Might be the Eagles.
No, the Texans. I don't think they win a game.
Nah, they can be somebody, bro.
Indianapolis gonna get that number one pick. Watch.
No.
Because they always looking to get good quarterbacks.
No, maybe if Matt Ryan got hurt or something, but Matt Ryan's
Look,
good enough to win a few games.
Manning, Jeff George. They're
Did you
always
just say
looking to
Did you
get good
just say Jeff
quarterbacks,
George?
man.
Did you just say
They
Jeff
got Jeff
George?
George number one overall.
No, like I know he was drafting. Did you just say Jeff George, a good quarterback? No, he was a
No,
solid
but he was
quarterback.
talented though.
He
He
had a
was
lot of
talented.
talent. Yeah, I like watching him throw the ball. Like I just look up Jeff George throws, just watch him throw the ball. Like phenomenal thrower, but not great in Indianapolis. But I get what
Nah,
you're saying.
but they're not gonna be that bad to where they get the number one pick, bro.
I mean,
I'm
they
just saying.
drafted John Elway, so I mean, of course they have some talent. I mean, they saw
Yeah,
that.
they're not gonna. I don't think it's gonna be that bad, man. They're gonna be bad, but they're gonna be not to where they
That's
go
fair.
3-14.
Yeah,
I
Kenny
got
Pickett
you.
will, I think, win him a few games
I had a question,
because
y'all.
they'll get
Go ahead.
better. As
Do y'all think I need to cut you off, Brian? But Davis Mills, like, do y'all think he's a starting NFL quarterback? Because I was watching the Chargers Texans game, and I know you talking about Texas getting number one pick. Do y'all think Davis Mills can be like a real good starter in the NFL? Because I don't think he's bad.
yeah, I don't think he is either.
That team, you never know.
It's part of it's a coaching. Like, no, some people brought this up. Would y'all be surprised if Lovie Smith's out in a year?
No, I mean, yeah.
They,
Because they just fired a black guy in the year. They're not gonna want to do that again. Nah,
But
they don't want to do that backlash, man.
maybe. But
nah.
all right, that's fair. Well, it all depends. If Nick Caserio, which I don't think they'd fire him after this year, if he somehow got fired, then I could see the new GM wanting his own guy. But yeah, I guess he'll be bad. But it's just this team's a rebuild. They'll have an interesting decision if Bryce Young or one of these top cuts is available. You got to consider it. But Davis Mills is definitely a servable quarterback. Some people thought if he came out in this past draft, he would have been the number one quarterback taken. He just doesn't have a lot to work with, and this roster is still needs a lot of pieces to be where they ultimately want to be. But he definitely has shown some flashes, and I like Davis Mills.
I don't know, man. It's just with that team, man. You never know, man. You never know what their intentions are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You never know, man. Like they may want CJ Stroud, they may want this guy, but they try to prove a point with this guy, with Davis Mills.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not sold yet.
You're not.
I'm not.
You also
Is
got to give him something to work with.
Is Lovie Smith sold? That's my thing.
I think
sorry.
I think he likes Davis Mills, but I think he likes Davis Mills, but I think everybody wants to see what this guy could do because BB John Mechie, that's a guy we wanted to see what he could do with him. With John Mechie, the guy from Alabama.
I forgot about him.
Yeah, who he got leukemia before the season started.
Yeah.
Yeah, then we wanted to see what Davis Mills could do. Like imagine, I mean, I know their offense. They got Damian Pierce. They found a gym right there in the fourth round, or the fourth or fifth round. That's a gym.
Yeah.
He's going to be a really good running back. And we wanted to see what he could do with John Mechie, but unfortunately, he ended up getting leukemia, and he'll be back next year. But I mean, we have to see if Lovie Smith sold or not. If I don't think they should draft a quarterback. I like when they like guys that get drafted in the third, fourth round, and they develop these guys. Like show your like with Jalen Hurts. The Eagles could have easily went and drafted another quarterback. They had the artillery to go get a top quarterback, but they say no, we're going to build around you. I want to see Houston build around Davis Mills instead of trying to get somebody to take over his spot. If that makes sense.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
But if you get a high pick, they could be tempted to do something.
Oh yeah, and I asked this question. I don't know if y'all in the chat a few days ago. If the Eagles, sorry DB to bring this up, but if that Saints pick is that high, and the Eagles get a chance to one of these top quarterbacks, let's say they let's hear me out. Let's say they don't take it, not to keep, but to use it and get some more assets to help their team by saying, all right, we'll take this. If you want Bryce Young, you have to give us X, Y, and Z. Would you do that if you were the Eagles, or you wouldn't?
All right. So you mean assets as far as what? Players? Picks?
Yeah. Well, but depend. Well, whatever. If the best deal you can get.
But you know what? What the Eagles like? Y'all ever watch the Eagles games? What did they actually need? What do they need now?
That's tough.
Secondary.
A
Secondary.
quarterback with a higher ceiling.
Bruh, stop. Bruh.
Man, still,
Stop.
dude.
I'm joking. I mean,
Secondary.
he's gotten better. I
I
No,
just
but
don't
mean,
know.
seriously, they need depth in secondary.
step in the secondary.
Yeah.
Shoot, I mean, the good teams are not giving away the good corners, man.
They're second. What? Maybe
No,
they need.
I said
But
depth in secondary. They've had injuries.
all right,
Step in
but
the
I was about to
secondary.
say their secondary is one of the best.
Yeah, they've had a lot of injuries though, actually.
I mean, I don't know, man. I think they would shoot. I think they could go running back, but they're not gonna take a running back that high in the draft, man.
Not no
Yeah,
more.
it'd probably be maybe a veteran player or a couple of I don't know, just maybe the best
Dude,
like available player they can get.
they could
If
take
they move.
Brock Bowers, man.
That'd be not. I don't. But
Brock
he has another year, so he won't
Yeah,
be.
he's a sophomore.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, Will Anderson.
He's a
yeah. If you could get Will
They could
Anderson,
take Will Anderson.
shoot.
yeah. Then
Next to
the
Nakobe
best
Dean.
probably.
Yeah, bro. There's just so many. There's just so many routes they could go with that pick, man.
Yeah,
And I don't know, man. Chris Olave is nice, man, but bro,
was he worth it? Yeah. Especially like, what if that pick ends up? They could have DV. You know, let's say you could have had Bryce Young over what they have now. I think I
I
know.
think
where
Bryce
you-
Young in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Dude,
So,
I like both of them guys. I like Bryce Young and CJ Stroud. I like Stroud a little bit more though.
yeah.
I want Will
Shoot.
Levis.
Man.
He's good. He's a much better passer than he once was. Like I don't know if you remember him at Penn State. They just used to use him for running
I didn't
plays.
even know Will Levis came from Penn State.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but he's really improved as a passer. It would be interesting to see where he ended up. I would love. I don't know if it happened, but if Liam Cohen, because he's with Sean McVay now, got a job, I would like he and Liam Cohen to reunite. But I don't know. But I've also heard some people say Will Levis is going to get a coach and a front office fired. So it'll be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see.
Who is the quarterbacks for this class, Brian? That you trying to see? I know we got the Stroud and Young and
Yeah.
Levis. I think next, if I'm not mistaken, is Tyler Van Dyke from Miami.
Yeah, his stock has dropped. He'd probably be good value in the second round. Like if you got him in the second. Will Rogers is improved.
Will Rogers, man.
That's a fourth round pick.
Nah, dude, that could back be a second, bro. It might come to the
It's hard
second.
for me. It's
Will Rogers, dude.
It's hard for me
raid.
to
Their
judge.
offense, air raid.
Go
offense.
ahead.
I can't judge him off that air raid. I can't.
Yeah, there you go.
Too many air raid quarterbacks that came in the league and flopped. Of course, the first great one, you remember DB Andre Ware, the first great air raid quarterback who just flopped in the NFL. Like, flopped. Like I thought Case Keenum would come. I mean, he had success with the Vikings. Obviously, I thought Case Keenum would come in the league and throw for thousands of yards after he did at Houston, but never did all that. I mean, not a consistent.
Mahomes did it.
Who?
Mahomes is the only air raid quarterback that made it.
DB.
It is true.
It's true, but Mahomes. This is like
nobody
talking about the cream of the crop, man.
Nobody thought Mahomes would be that good in the NFL.
I didn't.
I didn't either.
No, I don't
I
think.
was surprised he was a first round pick.
Yeah, I didn't even think he'd be a first round pick. I thought when he came out, I thought he should have come back another year, but he went to the right situation, and well, he's thriving. But
Kyler Murray from the air raid.
Yeah, and a little bit.
Baker Mayfield.
Yeah. I guess. I mean,
all
there's
them dudes work under Mike Leach, man.
No, but what Lincoln Riley, he runs the ball more, and I just don't like Mike Leach air raid is mainly passing. He's willing to run a little. I think.
No, but it came from that lineage, though.
Yeah, but just because you come from the lineage doesn't mean you don't evolve in your own ways.
No,
too.
but that ain't what I'm saying, though. It came from him.
Yeah, I get. Yeah, that's fair. It came from the air raid. He came from the air raid system, but I think it's important to say what Lincoln Riley, the offense he runs, is he. I remember him doing an interview. He said, "I've always believed in the ability to run the ball." And a lot of, if you watch, because I'm an OU fan, I know a lot of OU success. If they didn't run the ball well, it didn't open a lot of the stuff they like to do up. So And you can make a case they're a run-based offense. No one will ever want to hear that, but it's true.
Hey, Venables a coordinator, or coach.
It's too early. I'm not gonna panic. This was like Kirby. I'm not comparing to Kirby Smart, but I think Kirby Smart was 7-6 in his first season. Obviously, SEC is different,
Man, you
but it
compare. Come on, dude. Come on, man.
but it takes time to build a
Come on, man.
program.
Don't compare it. Don't do that, man.
Give
You
me.
comparing Kirby. Hey, Leo.
Yeah.
I'm not
Leo.
comparing.
You comparing Kirby Smart to Brett Venables,
I'm
man.
coming.
So who? Kevin,
He comparing Kirby Smart to Brett Venables, man.
No, that's not fair. No,
Don't do Kirby like that, man.
no.
Nah,
Man,
man. You can't. You don't do nothing like that, man.
Man,
Nah.
OU not even. OU
Is Venables even a good recruiter, man?
Yes,
Kirby
he's a
Smart
really
recruit.
good recruiter. If you saw what he did at Clemson, a lot of the reasons why they won their natty is because of their defensive.
You
and
can't compare
offensive line.
situations, man. You can't compare situations, man.
What's
Now, if you want to say Clemson is in a better recruiting area and is closer to a lot of these big recruits, that's a fair point. But I think OU moving to the SEC will help. And Venables has been, unlike Lincoln Riley, has been aggressive in getting or offering and showing these recruits in that area that he wants them. My question always for Brent Venables was this: can he get that offense going where Lincoln Riley had it, or maybe even take it to another level? And this season it won't happen. Dylan Gabriel was always a stopgap. I wouldn't be surprised if he transfers again. But
they'll be looking for another coach.
When
2 years stop. In 2 years.
Nah,
a new head
I think
coach
they at
at
least give
Oklahoma
him
football.
3-4 years because this is Josie's
Can't
guy.
get beat up like that though, man.
We'll see. If it's like a disaster, I could see it, but I don't see that happening. But the point I was trying to make, they have this really, really talented quarterback coming in this year or next year, Jackson Arnold. I don't know if he'll be ready as a freshman, but hopefully he'll be ready as a redshirt freshman. But he's really talented, and it's all about you got to. In order to win in today's game, you have to have a good quarterback, or maybe even an elite quarterback. If you don't, you can't win. And so right now, Dylan Gabriel is a solid quarterback, but he's not an elite.
Dylan Gabriel, man.
I think Dylan Gabriel better than Stetson Bennett.
What?
Talent-wise,
yeah.
Maybe, but put respect on Stetson Bennett's name. He just won a natty.
But Stetson
he just won a natty.
But you just said to win you have to have an elite. Is Stetson Bennett an elite quarterback? Because I don't hear Stetson Bennett being talked about one of the next draft guys with Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud.
Yeah,
so
that's different. He's an elite college quarterback. Just because you're an elite college quarterback doesn't mean it'll translate to the next level. I've always felt
Stetson Bennett is an elite college. Do you think they could plug in another quarterback and Georgia be as successful? Like
probably with that defense last year, yes.
Yeah.
That was a historically great defense.
No,
all you have to do is manage a game.
So that's the point, though.
And maybe make a few throws here and there.
Hey, let me ask you this: take Stetson Bennett out, set Heineken in. Do they still win the national championship?
No.
I love.
Dude, they're better.
I love Seth.
I think they're better.
Hell no.
He got the better arm.
Especially with those freshman mistakes. Their freshman mistakes. Nah, I just feel like he would have. Like their defense would have probably overhidden a lot of his flaws and faux pas, but he would have thrown him. He would have had him in some tight situations last year.
Maybe in a few years. But Seth is he's only a freshman and a sophomore for a few games. So I don't think this Seth. Now the Seth maybe down the road, maybe, but now.
All right, moving right along. All right, the New York Giants. They're 3-1, and they're tied. They're tied for third. I would say, well, they're in third place right now because the Cowboys own the tiebreak over them because they beat them in week 3, I believe, on Monday Night Football. So they're 3-1. The Cowboys are 3-1 in the NFC East. So do y'all think the Giants are playoff contenders or pretenders?
This is a tough one. I'll say they're playoff contenders. They have a good defense. Daniel Jones has played better this year. He's still limited. But as long as he doesn't turn the ball over, and they've relied heavily on the run, that's probably the main reason why they're having a lot of success. Saquon Barkley is balling out. But yeah, I think they're playoff contenders. Now, are they like there's like tiers in the NFC? They're probably in the bottom tier of playoff contenders, but I like what the Dayball has done with the Giants so far. This may be a hot take, and we got to be careful. But they made the right decision hiring him over Brian Flores. But I know some people don't want to hear that.
Go ahead, Leo.
I think the Giants. Damn, I don't know. Are the Giants contenders? They're NFC East contenders. Yes, I throw them up there with the Eagles and the Cowboys. But I think even though in a close loss to the Cowboys, they had a chance in that game. And because I think Saquon Barkley is the difference. Them having Saquon, he's back, y'all. He's back to 2018 Saquon. Like one where he's a top 5 back in the league undisputedly at this point. Right. So far, the comeback player of the year, early comeback player of the year award looks like it's in his hands at this moment. But there's plenty of time left. The thing that really impressed me about the Giants is how Dable's really, he's used Daniel Jones. And okay, Daniel Jones, the passer, is not elite. He's not that guy. He's not that passer. But his ability to make things happen in the run game and with his feet have really impressed me. And that's something that if you're gonna have shortcomings in the passing game, at least be a good runner, like Justin Fields. He's not a very good passer at this point right now in his career, but he's a very good runner. If you're gonna be have shortcomings in passing, at least be a good running quarterback. And that's why I was reading this article that said Baker Mayfield, it was like 31st or 32nd out of QBR in the NFL, and the last was Justin Fields. But they were like, at least Fields brings a running game dimension to it, which is what I like about Jones. And their flaw could be eventually their offense gets figured out by teams as they get later in the year that they're really just Saquon and just hope Danny doesn't turn the ball over. But hey, it's worked so far. He's got them 3 wins. So I really like where they've been. Now we'll see when they get. I think they get Wendell. Is it Rob?
Wendell Robinson.
Wendell Robinson and Slayton back. Yeah, Wendell Robinson, Slayton back. They get all. They need to find a way to use Kenny Golladay too, because that guy could be a monster. But he's a freaking. I saw Kenny Golladay dominate when he was in Detroit. This guy's got. He's almost worse than Allen. It's worse than Allen Robinson. Y'all think I don't think the Giants have used him right either. And like he's probably the biggest free agent bust I've seen there in my lifetime. But it's not. I don't really blame him. I blame the team. But I think he could be if they use this. That guy's a big body guy. If they can use this guy, I think this man and Jones can find him the ball, man. I think the Giants are legit DB, but I do need to see a little bit more. But this team could go. This team has the makings of a 9-7, 9-8, 10 team. This is a 9-8 team.
Yeah, I agree. 9-8 team, 8-9, fight for a playoff spot. They still haven't played Philadelphia yet. They already lost against the Cowboys. Dallas, I think people that had their doubts about them, but glad they're better than expected right now. And they may get to the playoffs, but if it's not because of Daniel Jones and it's more about the defense and the running game, I still think they'll make a change at quarterback. I don't know if they bring him back.
I want him to bring him back. Please bring him back. Give him an extension, please.
Let me ask you this question. Maybe add a few more pieces. Do they remind you of the Bucks? They're a quarterback away from potentially winning the Super Bowl.
Nah.
They don't have a few more pieces.
They don't have the receivers. They don't have the receivers that Tampa had.
That's fair.
They got the running back in the defense, and the defense could be, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if they have been untested yet. To me,
their defense is solid, but yeah, they're gonna get a test this week. They play the Packers in London.
Green Bay can't score. Green Bay struggling too.
But it's still Aaron Rodgers. So I know they meant, but it's still Aaron Rodgers. So
they want to put the hell in New England.
Yeah.
All right, man. Moving right along. Hey, between Matt Rule and Frank Reich, who gets fired first, man? Because I think the
I'm
wife's on
jump,
one.
I'm jumping on this because y'all. When I remember we did a pod before the season started.
I
Y'all
never
talked
said
about
that.
I brought up Frank Wright could be on the hot seat. Y'all say nah, he's not
I
going
didn't say
nowhere.
that.
Nah, no.
I knew he was in trouble.
Brian definitely said that. They were like, no, he's not going nowhere. Like he's secure. He's going to be their coach. I told y'all like Carson. We learned this year Carson Wentz was not the problem. Just
Yes,
what?
he
Yes,
was.
no, huh?
They say his attitude was the problem.
I don't care how bad your attitude is. You have 27 touchdowns, 7 picks. He's better than what they have now at quarterback.
It's true. I
You're
agree.
right.
I agree with Leah.
You're right.
Carson, he
Man,
was
Ryan's
part
tough,
of the
man.
problem, but he wasn't the problem. I think they made a mistake getting rid of him.
Yeah.
Especially, I think he was the scapegoat for them losing to Jacksonville in the end, which they did again this past. He got shut out. Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see. I think the guy, even though Frank Wright may get fired, I think we all agree if there's a coach we can almost bet our bank account will get fired, it's Matt Rule. Is that fair?
So, that might
Oh,
happen this week. What do you got?
The
Who
only
um,
Carolina has?
the
they play.
only
They got
thing
San Francisco.
Oh
the
yeah,
only thing
yeah.
that could save him is Tapper not wanting to pay that, and I know a billionaire not wanting to pay millions, but not he may want to give him one more year because he wants to.
For what?
I'm saying may.
Why?
Wait,
I
And he
said may.
what?
I'm not saying he will. I think he'll get fired,
May what?
but he
Why?
may want to give him one more year. Give
You
him
can't give
another
him more
chance.
years, man. You can't.
But we'll see how they finish. How they finish is important too, if he gets that opportunity.
I think they need to make the playoffs for him to have a job next year.
Yeah, probably. Or be playing meaningful games in December and I think the first week of January.
Yeah,
All right.
for sure.
So
But
between Mike McCarthy and Matt Rule, if both make the playoffs, which one's safe and gets eliminated?
Mike,
Which one is safer?
Matt Rule.
Mike McCarthy.
I think Mike McCarthy got to go to the division round.
Yeah, I think he has to win a playoff at least. It all depends on who you lose to too. Like I feel like if you lose to the 49ers, even though you can make case they're better than the Cowboys, I think that's a game you should win.
What's they lose
Especially
to
if it's
Green?
at home.
And they
Go
just
ahead,
lost
Rich.
to it last year. They still got the sting of last year's defeat to the 49ers last year game that they arguably should have won. You know. So yeah, I said McCarthy though. Like I think Matt Rule, like you ain't never made the playoffs before. Well, I think making the playoffs will get you some though, but I just feel like they should just go. Like they've already been underperforming the last 2 years. You can't just go and not do nothing. You gotta do something if you Matt Rule, in my opinion. But question is, I don't know if this team's a playoff team. The Panthers, I don't see an avenue where they can make the playoffs.
Well, the
Nah.
NFC is weak. That's the only thing I could say.
But I don't know their
I wouldn't be
schedule.
surprised if a team has a losing record and makes a playoff. One other thing, but Matt Rule is in the perfect spot, in my opinion, from this standpoint. If he gets fired, he'll definitely get a call from a college team. Whether he wants to take it or not, that's up to him. But he's in the perfect situation, and he's gonna get a big payday. Like his contract was insane. I think 7 years, 62 million, something like that.
Nah,
So
7
insane.
yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Matt
So
Rule,
he's set.
Matt Rule got all his hype. He got all his hype about him as a college coach, but he never won a national championship. Or
He's
never
good,
even
but
been
think
near
about
one.
where
Come on
he
now.
was.
Now come on now. Come on now. He started
TV,
at Temple.
come on,
Temple
Go
football
ahead.
was dead before him. Temple football was dead before him. Baylor football was coming off the Al Browns was dead before him. And look what he turned those teams into. And he turned Temple into
But
a
it
double
was,
digit winning team. Turned Baylor into a double
but is
digit
it?
team. Go ahead.
But is it national titles though?
But now you can't judge. Come
It's,
on.
it's
Do you think
unrealistic.
you can? Can you? All right, we'll throw a Temple. You can't win one. So, do you think you can realistically win a national title at Baylor?
Nobody can really. I mean,
So then you just
Come on
So
now.
then why did you?
no, but I'm
It's not like
saying,
he
man,
was
like he gets. I don't know, man.
like
I just don't.
Auburn.
I'm
If
just not
Auburn
big. I'm
came
just
up
not big.
in,
I'm just not into hiring
okay,
college coaches,
I'm
bro,
sorry.
for
Can you
NFL
repeat that?
job.
I'm sorry, I kind of cut you off.
Can somebody
I'm just
please
not
fire
into.
Pat? Huh?
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, somebody please fire My bad. Yeah, we can go ahead and finish your point. Then I'll get into another point I want to
I'm
make
just
about. We were talking
I'm
about
just not
coaching.
in the I'm just not in the hiring college coaches, man. I
Why is
just
that?
rather not. It just sometimes the transition is bad, man.
Yeah. Uh,
Yeah, you're right.
I think situation matters, and just also, and let's be, it's the quarterback. If you have a quarterback in this league, you'll win, and how you develop them. But if you don't, you won't. It's just sometimes it's as simple as that.
Yeah, that's true.
But one thing I'll disagree with you about Matt Rule, the reason why he's attractive to a lot of college programs, people define him as a program builder. He
Yeah.
built Temple up. He built Baylor up. So I think like if I'm Colorado, Arizona State, Auburn,
Wisconsin,
maybe Nebraska,
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, he's a program builder. So I definitely would consider him. I don't know if he wants to do it. He kind of declined. Now I don't know. Like he was asked in one of his press conferences about it, and he said, "I think no comment" or something like that. But we know how these agents work. Somebody's talking behind the scene, and if a job he really wants comes up, and he'll take it. But Matt Rule, if he wants a college job, he'll have one next year.
Go ahead.
I was gonna ask y'all why. I'm tired of watching Pat Fitzgerald coach at Northwestern. They get blown out. Like, why is he still the head coach?
Well, let's think about it. I see some of your points,
God,
but Pat Fitzgerald's done a solid job at Northwestern.
yeah, he's a great coach. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, he's a great coach. But the last few years they haven't won
yeah,
anything.
but he's at Northwestern. Like some of the expectations of some of these programs are just ridiculous. Uh, I don't think they'll ever fire him. I think that maybe they mutually part ways or
Oh
something, or he would
God,
step down. But Pat Fitzgerald has done a solid job. Same thing with David Shaw. Do you think he's a bad coach? Or no? I think
I think he should go to. I would have fired him after last. They haven't. You can't be great for a long time and then let you have some subpar years. They haven't been relevant since Christian McCaffrey left.
maybe, but it's just the academic challenges are the biggest problem. I'm not saying they should be this bad, but and also the Pac-12 has gotten better too.
Yeah.
But like expectations have to be realistic, and at schools that if you make a bowl game every year, that's success. Obviously every once a few years, that's success. That's success at these schools, in Stanford especially, because it's the only school. Like I've mentioned this so many times, the only school where you have to be admitted in before they can offer you a scholarship. And with this early enrollment, David Shaw he was against it because it hurts a school like Stanford, where a kid may not be enrolled until the spring or the normal where the old sign-in period used to be. So it's a disadvantage for them, and they already have their academic challenge as it is. And so when you add that, it's hard. He's doing the best he can. Maybe they can be a little better, but it's just a huge disadvantage for him.
Okay.
Um, I, the coach job it's only a matter of time for they look at Frank Reich,
Yeah.
Matt Rule. Writing's on the wall with that. He could probably be fired after this week. But the
What?
coach, man, that's a good
We'll
job.
see how bad it is.
You think this
The
week,
coach that's
DB?
a coach is a good job. What's up?
You think this week?
Possible, yeah.
I
Breaking
think
news: he's
It's
been fired after the
possible,
game.
man. I thought it was gonna be against the Saints, but they fired Jake Gruden after week 4, week
yeah,
5.
but it depends how bad it is. I feel like he'll be fired when they're eliminated from the playoffs. That's what I believe. If he's fired during the season.
That wouldn't make
Uh,
sense. They just gonna let him. They just let him thug it out to the end of the season and then fire him.
maybe, yeah.
We'll see, man. Who you think they look at, man?
I saw the Panthers.
Yeah, it's a new head coach.
Yeah, I put an article in if you're on Instagram, Leo, you would have seen it. But Panthers Wire put out that apparently 2 candidates. Tepper is looking at veteran coaches is what he wants.
Veteran
Dan
coach.
Quinn and who else did I see? Hold on, let me
So
see.
you want to retread?
He needs to
Yeah,
go make a
but
run.
Dan
He
Quinn
needs to go-
definitely deserves another shot.
He needs to go throw a bag at Harbaugh.
Which one?
Harbaugh,
Jim.
Jim.
I don't
I heard
think
he
I
he's
might be in
would
trouble,
go throw a
man.
bag
I
at
heard
him.
John
Then
Harbaugh might be in
Sean
trouble.
Payton. Sean Payton's the other one. I saw your tweet, Sean Payton to the Colts. If they get a young quarterback, yeah. but I don't see it with Matt Ryan.
It's possible.
Man,
All right,
I
man.
hope y'all get rid of. I hope y'all get rid of Dennis Allen again, so maybe Sean can come back.
He ain't coming
I
back
don't
to
think
us,
he
man.
would come
He ain't
back to.
coming to the Saints,
Yeah.
man. He ain't coming back to the Saints, man.
Yeah.
If we go a different direction after Dennis Allen, man. We just need to go. I would prefer them to hire somebody from the Chiefs, man. One of the
Or
Chiefs' assistants,
offensive mind.
offensive
Offensive.
mind, man. Get
Yeah.
rid of that system, man. That the Sean Payton influence system. I'm just me. That's just me. But we'll see.
Yeah.
Hey, man, what's up with I'm gonna just keep asking y'all about this, man. What's up with these Memphis fans, man? And these excuses of why the stadium ain't packed, man.
Some of them are fair, some legitimate. I'll admit it. I was supposed to go to the game. I didn't go. Uh,
No, but
yeah.
not you, not you. I'm just talking
Uh,
about the not the journalists, man. I'm talking about the fans, man. It's
well,
like I see all the excuses, man. This is unreal, man, for a college football program that wants to be a P5, that has
Mm-hmm.
aspirations of being a P5, and yet I hear all the excuses of why this stadium is not packed.
No.
I give out. Here's my solution, right? This is my solution. Memphis may not have the swagger of a LSU in regards to like leverage and stuff with with the networks, but try to shoot to have games at night. Cause at night, just from my observation of being there, you have a bigger crowd.
yeah. The only
Shoot for some
catch.
games at night.
Yeah, but the problem with that is they don't get to choose that from the standpoint, like
I know.
how this. Yeah, like some games that. But yeah, I agree with you on that. But I ultimately think they need to get a smaller stadium, because
Too late.
or maybe I don't know if you would lose money doing this, but you may I don't know how it works. But if you just gave like cheap tickets to some of like these young kids in the community, and like young like
Bro, cheap. It's cheap.
yeah, I don't know, but now some of them can be expensive. I don't know, but I'm talking about like everything under $100. They won't do that. But
How much is
maybe you
parking?
could. But I just think the Liberty Bowl is too big for it to be packed. When's the last time? Oh yeah, it was the SMU game, and I think that was the
Yep.
AAC championship game a sellout.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
No.
That was big.
yeah,
I
but
watched that yesterday, man.
oh wow,
I watched it yesterday. I'm just like, wow, man. Look at this
I
stuff,
got to be on.
man.
man,
I got to be on the field for the last. I got to be on the field for the last because I remember that game. That game was
Bro,
incredible.
that team has so much playmakers, man. It just makes you not take things for granted ever again with Memphis
Yeah, man.
football, man. Like no matter who you put the football in, put the ball in, get the hands on the football, they was gonna make a play.
And they
yeah,
had a lot of
That's how
NFL
special it
players on
was.
that team. There was a lot of NFL players on that team. Guys that became future
Yeah,
pros.
man. Like I said, man, it's just wild, man. Like all the excuses, man. But
it is.
what about this? What about this idea?
Mm-hmm.
Build a stadium in downtown.
Mm-mm.
Uh,
Buccaneers
No.
Forum.
No.
No, I think that would
No.
be the worst idea, because I mean
Why?
you're already maybe struggling competing with basketball. Now I
Nah.
don't know. I think they should just build a smaller stadium. That's what they should do.
It's too late for that, man.
It's never too late.
But they didn't put all these renovations into the Simmons Bank
It's coming soon.
just for them not to use it.
But somebody told me, I asked somebody in the press box. They said, I asked him, I said, you think this can actually go through? He's like, no.
Or
It
get a
is what
smaller
it is.
stadium.
No, the actual renovations.
What? They're supposed to be completed by 2024.
I think
They
it's
ain't
going
signed
through.
off on it yet.
I hope that would be bad if that happens, but well,
Why?
I hope it goes through. I thought that was the plan, but
Man, but it's no excuse, DB. I think you had said that the attendance was like 25K out of a
23K back to back
23K out of.
weeks.
Now, to be fair, it is 11 a.m. Like we talked about this last week, I can find way better stuff to do at 11 a.m. than watch the Tigers. Like if I'm just the average person, like I ain't finna go Like I'm not gonna go out my way to go to a game. And plus, it's 23,000. That's actually not surprising, but that's still bad though. Like because Bama's not getting. They're getting 80,000 at 11 a.m. But we just have to realize that we're not what we say we are. Like Memphis fans want us to. You want us to think that we're a Power Five school waiting to go into a Power Five, but we're not. We don't even have the support of a Power Five school. So that's when people have to understand that. And you know, like it's almost like the comparison. I compared this. I told somebody this. It's like when UCLA at the Rose Bowl. That's how we are at Simmons Bank. It's the
Yeah, but
comparison there.
Yeah, the only thing I'll
but
say is real quick. There's a whole lot more to do in LA than in Memphis. So while
Yeah,
I see your point, it's a little
man, but
not the fairest comparison.
UCLA has a bigger following though, man. UCLA has a brand for football, believe it or not, compared to Memphis.
you think so?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's fair.
they do. They're a lot bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I mean, I don't know, man. You just can't have these type of excuses, man.
it is
Because
what it is.
LSU playing Tennessee at 11 o'clock, and they're gonna have
But come on,
100K at there
Come on now.
at
we
that
can't
Valley.
defend LSU. LSU is like that. It's Baton Rouge. I know they have the Saints, but I know how close it is from New Orleans and
It's like an
Baton
hour
Rouge.
away. It's an hour
Uh,
away.
but
It's a
LSU,
crossover.
Baton Rouge is a college city. I mean, obviously, I think that's advantage for Tennessee that they're not playing
But
at night. I
still,
wish that
you
game
can't.
was at night.
But you still can't use the excuses, man.
But these are big time programs. Memphis ain't there yet.
But that's what Memphis wants to be.
Yeah, that's
Come
fair.
on, man.
But I agree. I wish that they could do better, but some people just may not be into football. Even the basketball games are full.
Yeah, they
They
I
are
think
full. Basketball is more full than Memphis football.
maybe
I've been to
that's fair.
basketball games.
Uh,
I covered enough of them.
all right.
they
Nah,
not they
man.
not they not sold out, but they be deep though.
It's deeper than.
Yeah, they be deep though.
I don't know, man. Maybe, man. I don't know, man. Like you could. I don't know.
All right, fellas, I gotta go.
All right, man. That's all we have for y'all for right now. Give us a like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Let us know how you feel about topics we talk about. Also, give us a 5-star rating on Apple or Spotify. Have a blessed night. Peace. We out.
Take care.